The Israeli historian Ilan Pape argues that Israel is imploding. He defines the current far-right government of Benjamin Netanyahu as neo-Zionist, meaning that the old values of Zionism have become more extreme, more openly racist, more supremacist, and more violent. This neo-Zionist state has abandoned the incremental approach, the slow-motion ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, which characterized past Zionist governments. It is using genocide as a weapon to empty the Gaza Strip of Palestinians and soon perhaps the West Bank. It is dominated by Jewish extremists that have turned Israel into what he calls the state of Judea, distinct from the old state of Israel. The state of Judea, run by fanatic Jewish colonists, 750,000 of whom live in the West Bank, fuses religious Zionism with Orthodox Judaism. It seeks to establish an Israeli empire that will dominate its Arab neighbors, especially Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. The hatred for Palestinians by those who run this neo-Zionist state, the state of Judea, extends towards secular Israeli Jews. This, he argues, means that ultimately Israel will fracture, making Israel unsustainable.
This is the DNA of the present Israeli government, the sense that they are the rulers of the Middle East, that they are the dominant power. And it's good every now and then to show every part of the Middle East that they have the power and the ability to do whatever they want, regardless of international law or the sovereignty of Arab countries. It is really a sense that they have that the Arab world, or at least the regimes of the Arab world, are totally at their mercy and under their submission.
Potential fall of Israel could either be like the end of South Vietnam, the total erasure of a state, or like South Africa, the fall of a particular ideological regime and its replacement by another. I believe that in the case of Israel, elements of both scenarios will unfold sooner than many of us can comprehend or prepare for. So you have the internal divisions.
They are facing also a serious economic crisis, despite the fact that, of course, still people buy from the Israelis military security and securitization products and services. Nonetheless, that would not be enough to sustain a proper economy. To that you can add the isolation in the world, which, you know, the more extreme the behavior is, it might not be contained in the boycott and divestment campaigns and might move into the realm of sanctions. We're already beginning to see indications of this, that some governments are willing at least to talk about sanctions. We'll wait and see whether they're willing to impose them. To that you can add also the change in the young generation of Jews, especially in the United States, who with such a state of Judea would probably dissociate themselves from Zionism in Israel, and who knows, many of them might be even activists in the solidarity movement with the Palestinians, continuing to control millions of Palestinians in the West Bank, in the Gaza Strip, inside Israel, against their will, facing the millions of Palestinians who live in refugee camps on the borders of Israel, with their own connections with local militias and resistance movement, is not going away. This reality is not going to change. And this would add to the military pressure on Israel from the outside. So I do hope that all these pressures eventually would create two kinds of internal dynamics, which are the final act, if you want, in this scenario, and a necessary act. Otherwise, it would not happen. One is the change eventual, but that would be the last thing that would happen. A change in the Israeli Jewish society similar to the one that took place among the white community in South Africa, willing to concede that there is no other option but to renegotiate the reality. I know it sounds totally unrealistic now, but I'm talking about a different future with different events that happen until that moment, including all the pressures I was talking about.